Here are 20 of the scariest moments in NBA history.
We are being asked to slowly and calmly evacuate the building.
He's struggling with his balance right now. He is shaken up big time.
And to start, Bismack Biyombo shocked fans.
And Biyombo just sort of collapses and hits the floor in immediate concern.
That was terrifying. And so was Corey Brewer's horror show at number 19, as a simple dunk had everyone thinking they were about to see a tragedy.
Oh my goodness. Oh, wow.
That was a hard fall right there.
Had my guy completely shaken, just like the fans at number 18, because right in the middle of NBA Summer League, the whole arena started to shake.
And we can feel tremors here in the building. The score clock is shifting ever so slightly.
So people are heading to the exits as we speak.
But number 17 was even more chilling, as Marquis Daniels went face first into unconsciousness.
Both ends of the floor.
A foul on Arenas. Went into Arenas when he snapped his neck a little bit.
But that wasn't the only spine-chilling moment, because at number 16, Rodney Stuckey seemed perfectly fine, until he was suddenly at death's door.
Thank you for your patience.
And right there, obviously in some kind of real pain and discomfort. They put him out on his back for a bit and continue to work on him right now.
Fortunately, everything turned out okay. But at number 15, New Orleans Noel raised the fear even higher. A simple block left him being stretchered off.
He's been all of that this year. Went up to block the shot of Wiggins. And you see that as the head got cocked back thanks to the forearm, and then he hit his head.
That was tough to watch. But sometimes it's not just the players who get hurt, because at number 14, Dennis Rodman lost it on a cameraman.
It'll belong to Minnesota. He kicked the cameraman. He was really upset. Really upset. Went up in the air, came down on the camera. You thought he sprained his ankle.
But the NBA saw even more frightening moments. Just like Rocky the Mountain Lion at number 13.
Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh.
Luckily, the guy only fainted. Number 12 pushed a live accident to the edge when the Hawks announcer passed out on live TV.
Every night, and he feels like he's belonged. So I look for this kid to have a really good.
But if that wasn't frightening enough, at number 11, Gordon Hayward faced a nightmare. It was his debut with the Celtics, and as he jumped for a dunk, he landed in the worst way imaginable.
Oh my goodness. Hayward came down so hard. Okay, Hayward broke his leg. Hayward has broken his leg. Hayward has broken his leg. And that is how quickly a season can change.
This is unbelievable.
Oh my gosh.
I mean, and not a whole lot of contact, really just felt awkward.
That's an injury nobody will ever forget. But it got even more terrifying at number 9, when Lou Williams had to react quickly to avoid getting shot. Lou was just relaxing in his car when someone suddenly knocked on his window.
He U-turned. I looked down at my phone at the light, and I just heard click, click, click. Somebody knock on my window. I'm like, look up. Bro got the gun on me. I don't know why, but I rolled the window down. That's just where my mind took me. I rolled the window down. He like, get out the car. And I said, huh? And when I said, huh, he looked at me, he said,
Lou Will? Can't even do it to you, bro.
And if Lou wanted the gun away, he had to say something quick. So he used McDonald's as his defense.
He said, man, I just got out of jail.
Only thing I got is a bus ticket, bro. I'm out here starving. And I was just thinking on my feet. I said, look, bro, it's a McDonald's right there. You meet me at the McDonald's.
I'll buy you whatever you want to eat. He said, all right, cool. So my first thought was, do I let him get in my car? I was like, hell no. So I started driving first.
Yeah.
And I watched him running across the street to the McDonald's. So while he running to the McDonald's, I call my man like, yo,
pull back up.
Pull back up. I'm like, pull up to the McDonald's. Pull up to the McDonald's. They made the story like I sat down and ate with him. Nah, hell no. The motherfucker ordered food. I swiped my card.
Yeah.
I shook his hand. I said, God bless, bro, but this ain't the way.
Yeah.
And by that time, my man was walking in McDonald's like
Yeah.
But if you thought that was scary, the player at number 8 is still fortunate to be alive. Jay Williams was expected to be the NBA's next star. In 2002, he was a college sensation, but tragedy hit. Not on the court, but on the streets. Jay broke his team contract by riding his Yamaha R6 motorcycle, and after revving the engine to impress a friend, he crashed head-on.
And I just got a new muffler on my bike, and as I was pulling away, I revved my engine because I, for some reason, wanted to show off to Kevin. Being on a billboard on I-90 apparently wasn't big enough for my ego. And on the third rev, in the middle of the rev, I heard the bike go click, click. The bike popped up on me, it slipped into gears, and I should have let go of the bike at that given moment, but it was all about control for me. I just bought this new bike, I wanted to control, and the next thing you know, I was headed towards a utility pole going 65, 70 miles per hour, and I tried to turn the bike at the last second, but I wasn't able to get out of my own way, and the pole clipped the whole left side of my body, and next thing I know, I'm laying on the grassy knoll area between the sidewalk and the curb. My chest is laying on it as if I'm laying on my stomach. The curb is pushed up against my navel, and my legs are laying on the street as if I'm laying on my side. And every time I kept rubbing my leg, I kept looking at my hands ready to see blood, and I didn't see anything. And it was at that moment, something in my soul just told me I threw it all away, and I started screaming that out. I threw it all away.
The crash caused serious injuries, a shattered pelvis, 3 torn knee ligaments, and nerve damage in his leg. Doctors doubted not only if he would play basketball again, but even if he would be able to walk.
My right foot, I think about pulling up when I walk, but my left foot, I think about pulling inward. So essentially, when I walk, it's like this. So, I mean, to retrain yourself how to walk like that, and then let alone try to run for it to become secondhand nature, it took a long time.
From a future all-star to someone forced to rebuild his entire life. But at number 7, nearly 17,000 fans came face-to-face with danger. In 2009, a performer known as Lady Houdini put herself through a deadly escape act that kept everyone watching in suspense. Kristen Johnson stayed calm in her handcuffs until panic set in. That was a narrow escape, but Nate Robinson was even more vulnerable at number 6. Nate's career was defined by heart, standing 5 feet 9 inches, a 3-time slam dunk champ, and relentless energy. Yet beneath all his high-flying dunks, he was quietly fighting something far more serious. He managed to keep it hidden while moving between teams and making big plays, but eventually his health problems caught up with him.
In 2006, my doctor, Lisa Callahan, found my blood pressure to be pretty high, and they ran tests and did a whole bunch of stuff and seen that my kidneys were failing. And I always was healthy. When I was a kid, I always was healthy growing up. You know, I never was sick, always had good health. And there were times where I got sick and I was just throwing up and I couldn't control what was going on. And they had to put me in the hospital for a couple days. And, you know, I would come out feeling greater than I've ever felt before. So I just, you know, kept dealing with the routine over the years.
After Nate retired, his kidney condition worsened rapidly. Without a transplant, his time is running out. But at number 5, Gustavo Chefia and Chris Copeland faced one of the NBA's darkest nights. Copeland got into a fight with a troublemaker that quickly escalated. Both Copeland and his fiancée were brutally stabbed, their blood staining the pavement.
That's Copeland from the Indiana Pacers, man. I knew he looked familiar. I'm like, damn, bro.
Copeland and his fiancée were rushed to the hospital. Meanwhile, Dabo faced his toughest challenge yet. After the club was closed down, one wrong step led to Cephalosa suffering the worst injury of his career.
Stop! Oh my God.
The fight left him with a broken leg and nerve damage that required immediate surgery.
You know, one of the officers came from behind and kicked me in the leg.
And you had ligament damage?
Correct.
As well?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it was a serious injury.
The injury's impact lasted a long time. Cephalosa was never the same player afterward and sought revenge. Although he was charged with obstruction, he later contested the charge and won a $4 million civil suit. Meanwhile, Copeland never received compensation for his suffering. His battle to come back from injury signaled the decline of his career. At number 2, we've got even more intense family drama with one of the NBA's most haunting stories. Lorenzen Wright wasn't just a player. He was a hometown hero, a Memphis legend who spent 13 seasons in the league. Known for his hustle, heart, and dedication to his community. But in July 2010, Lorenzen disappeared without a trace. Days later, desperation turned to horror when his body was found in a wooded area outside Memphis. The details were brutal. He'd been shot multiple times execution style. Even more chilling was the 911 call he made on the night of his murder, where his fear was clear.
Georgetown 911, where's your emergency? Hello? Hello? Hello?
For 7 years, the case went cold. No suspects, no arrests, just a haunting silence around his death. But in 2017, the truth started to come out when police recovered the murder weapon from a nearby lake, leading them directly to Lorenzen's ex-wife, Shara Wright, and her accomplice, Billy Ray Turner.
Did you have any part in Lorenzen's murder?
At first, I'm a wife, then I'm a mother, and then thirdly, I'm an author. The law enforcement should do what's best to find out who's the killer.
And you understand, obviously, why I had to ask that.
I do, but I'm a wife, a mother, and an author. I let people do what they're good at doing, and I'm just gonna do what I'm good at doing. They need to spend time and focus and find out what happened to him. We all need to know.
It was revealed that his ex-wife had planned the whole thing, hiring Turner to carry out the hit in a twisted scheme to collect millions from Lorenzen's life insurance. A betrayal so chilling, it shocked everyone who ever supported him. Now we've reached the final moment on our list, and it still feels surreal. Kobe Bryant wasn't just an NBA legend. He was basketball royalty. 5 championships, countless unforgettable moments, and a mindset that inspired millions worldwide. He seemed untouchable, almost immortal. But on January 26, 2020, the world stopped. Kobe, his 13-year-old daughter Gianna, and 7 others boarded a helicopter to a basketball tournament. It was just another routine trip for the Mamba, a quick flight to save time, something he'd done many times before. This time, tragedy struck in the thick morning fog over Calabasas, California. The helicopter lost control and crashed into a hillside. There were no survivors. For hours, no one wanted to believe it. Kobe Bryant was gone. It didn't feel real. And when it was confirmed, the heartbreak was beyond measure.
Obviously trying to make sense of what has happened. Tim Duncan, who had so many great battles with your Lakers, Brian, in the playoffs. Becky Hammond, Greg Popovich. Just a tough day all around.
The man who gave us an 81-point game, clutch moments, and 2 decades of greatness was gone. So on the first day back on the court, NBA players honored their hero by letting the 24-second shot clock run out in his memory.
And like every team has done in every game this week, they will take a 24-second violation. Each team will do so, or perhaps an 8-second on the second team, in tribute to Kobe Bryant's 2 retired jerseys, number 24 and number 8.
The tragedy shook more than just the basketball community. It impacted fans, players, and even people who weren't sports fans. The sorrow was felt worldwide. The loss of Kobe and Gianna, a father and daughter taken so abruptly and senselessly, was unbearable.